Welcome to Barrel Brothers, and in this episode of Long Termers, the sunny truck. As you can hear, it's not as quiet as the other two. I've owned this since 2017, but it didn't actually get into the country until 2019. So I've had it for 5 years. There's a long story about that 2-year lag, but we won't go into that here. It's a lot of original stuff in here, but we've changed a lot too. This dash is the famed double bump out of a GX. This was factory air conditioned, which is on at the moment. It now runs a Haltech R3 and 2009 Yamaha R6 throttle bodies. So it is fuel injected and fly-by-wire. It has a heater, it has air conditioning, it has cruise control now, which I might get to demonstrate. We'll see how we go. But yeah, the more I drive it, the better it gets. The last thing we did before I did this episode was we changed the front shock absorbers and springs. They were 8 kilo springs, they're now 4 kilo springs. And one of the shock absorbers was actually shot, but it's good now. And you know why I took so 5 years to change from an 8 kilo spring, which is too heavy for the car weighs 788 kilos with half a tank of fuel, as it is at the moment. From factory, they're 766. That's the official. 760, 40 kilos heavier than the short wheelbase one, which is 720. So 760 kilos. Traffic's crap again. This one is 788. I've put a fair bit of sound deadening in it, and we've added some bits and pieces. And its current form, it is running 35 kilowatts at the wheels. Standard, well, almost standard when we dynoed that with Scotty over at Haltech. He folded himself into here with his knees up against up next to the steering wheel. He said he was comfortable though. Yeah, that was 26.9 kilowatt at the wheels. But so we've had a 30% jump in power, which is really good. And we're not finished there. There's still more things. So I've got an A15 there, but we're going to go the long way around. Like, there's nothing wrong with my A12. It's listen to it. It's a happy little motor. We've done the exhaust. It's got extractors on it. It's got a wideband. It's got all the gear. The front struts are Datsun 120Y that have been cut and shut with a U-weld coil over in it. The brakes are S13 Silvia. That guy went through a red light. S13 Silvia CA18 NA brakes, which are a vented disc. They're actually very good. It doesn't run a booster because, well, it doesn't need one for a start. I mean, if you wanted to, you just sort of press the pedal a little bit harder if you want to stop faster, but they work fine. The travel's a little bit more than usual, more than standard, because it does run quite a small master cylinder, but that gives you a good press. I tried a large one on, a 7/8 one, but it was like stepping on a brick, so that was no good. The brakes are actually very good. They're progressive, and yeah, they're a nice brake. They were new discs and new pads when I put them in 4 years ago, I think. And they haven't needed changing because the car's only 760 kilos. Doesn't it sound good? It's got all the doors, like. And as you can probably tell, I love this thing. I really do. I like all of my cars. This one holds a special place in my heart. It's just a great little car. We've changed the. It looks like a standard radio here. It's not. There's an episode on that too. There's episodes on all of this stuff. I don't know how many episodes. We're up to like 22 episodes on the Sunny. Probably more than that actually, on the Sunny truck. That is actually a Bluetooth head unit, so it's got hands-free phone. You know, you can stream stuff and listen to your podcasts. There's the microphone there for it. Needs to come out a little bit more, but I machined up a little alloy thing around, so it looks sort of, it doesn't look out of place sitting there. It really needs to be pushed through a little bit further, but we've got the GX clock on it, and all the GX stuff here, so it has the only little, see, it's just stalled then. It does this every now and again, just when the air conditioning's on and in farting around in traffic, so, but then it'll pick up, see, look, does that, and then it'll grab it again. Don't know why. But the thing is, it used to do it all the time. So I used to, Dave had a bit of a fiddle with it, but made it better, but it still stalled every now and again, just because it wouldn't pick up the throttle in time. But it gets, the more you drive it, the better it gets, and that's the R3. Doing its thing, I don't know if it's progressive with the air conditioning setup, but the tune on it, this just drives like a normal car. For something with 4 throttles that big, this is amazing that it drives this good. There's no jerkiness to the throttle at all. I mean, you can be jerky, and that was the whole point of going to a this type fly-by-wire throttle in the first place. So we could have that, you know, that nice linear throttle, which is, it's like a bell curve. Mind you get over about 50-60% on the pedal. The actual throttles are doing sort of 19%, 20% around there. So it really is quite flat. So you don't have the jerky throttle that you can get with a lot of the cable throttles, quad throttles, and it just drives like a normal car. A dash, I've tried to keep it all as much as possible standish looking. I've got this roof console, which is up here. You can see that. It's out of a not a 610, 810, which is an Australian 200B, but the Australian 200Bs didn't have these. The Japanese ones did, and it has a little spotlight, as you can see there, map light, and somewhere to put your speeding tickets, which are all posted out to you these days. But yeah, and a much better interior light than the standard one, which is, you know, about that big. It's hopeless. This one actually shines a bit of light into the tray as well. This, as I said, this is an ongoing project. I've been doing it for about 5 years. I've had a lot of help from a lot of people, you know who you are, and a lot of ideas from people. But it really is such a terrific little thing. It's just nice to drive. Quite happy to do daily duties. It's a lot better than when it had a carby. Uses less fuel than when it had a carby too. Uses less fuel, and it's got a lot more power. So Howtech, what can I say? The wheels it's currently running are a set of Techno Phantoms that I've widened to 9 inches wide. It's actually a little bit too wide in the front. I might have to change the barrels on those ones, just to bring it, because I'm running a tiny little spacer, 5mm spacer. Here we go, second gear. Makes all those cool noises, and it can just keep up with traffic. I mean, it'll be better with the A15 when we get it in there, but I want to try some other things first. You know, just, it's a absolute bike, like the head's never been offered. It's got the standard cam, standard everything. All we've done is just improve the control, the fuel control, and the breathing. And we got a 30% gain in power. Now, 30% gain in power in anything is, without a turbo, is massive, absolutely massive. I don't think that we'll ever go turbo with this, but you never can tell. Rope Shannon in to do a turbo manifold for it. He'd probably strangle me in my sleep if he had the key to my house. But yeah, But yeah, there is ongoing plans for it. We're going to look at a bit more power, not heaps amount of power. I just want it sort of a nice daily. The A15 will probably be the ultimate. I don't know if I've gone too big with the cam on that one, so it's a bit of a wait and see game. As it's a little bit slow on the pickup because I've got the air conditioning running, it's lovely and cool in here. This is the factory. It's called they sort of nickname it factory knee freezer air conditioning. This guy down here, yeah, factory knee freezer air conditioning, which I've just gone over all the whites, blurred a couple of them, but yeah, you couldn't see anything. I still need to do the knobs. It's only on 2 and about halfway on the cold, and that's plenty. Mind you, I don't know, it's probably 30 odd degrees today. Oh, we have a 5-speed gearbox in it too, from a 310. Let's see, I'll bring a smile to your face. And these were built originally. I started building them in 1971, and basically didn't change anything much. You know, they upgraded them a little bit. But the A series engine's a great little engine. It has a lot. It's got heaps of mains. You can rev the hell out of them. They do like a bit of a rev. It's basically how they're designed to work. With a standard cam, the crossover and the power and torque on this is at about 5.2 or 5.4. I can't remember from the dyno day. So yeah, it's got plenty of torque for such a dinky little engine. The problem with putting a turbo on is that you'd lose all that lovely dortiness, and it'd quieten it right down, which is, I don't think, something that we want. Personally, I like it. It's just good. Where are you going? Now this tacho is it redlines at 6,800. That was for the GX5, which ran twin carbies and a different cam, bigger head, bigger valves. This is just the standard little A12 for puddling around. It's like they're a little work truck. That's what they are. This car was originally sold. It was sold in Osaka to a Kyoto motorcycle dealer. So there's a Harley Davidson sticker on there. Was a Harley Davidson sticker up here, but it was blocking the view. There's still a sticker on the door, and you can see on the B pillar on the outside here where there's been the big Harley Davidson crest on the B pillar at some time in the past. But it doesn't have it anymore. So I'd say it was a motorcycle delivery vehicle. I don't think they delivered a lot of motorcycles in it. It was an 85 model, and I picked it up in 2019. Had 49,000 Ks. It did have 50,000 Ks on it when I picked it up. It's just a cracker of a little car. Everybody that sees it loves it, and we're going to do a bit of road tripping next year in it too. I think we're going to Tea Gardens in it with the pub run, and we're going to do go down to Classic Japan, I think, as well in it. Ash, who organises that, was talking to us about perhaps like doing a couple of days and doing as sort of a club run sort of a deal. Start somewhere once we get over the border into Victoria and go up the mountains up to Cooma or something or other, over the Alpine Way, nice curvy road. Look, stay one night up high. There's an R34 GTT. Yeah, stay up in Cooma or somewhere up the mountains. In the summertime it's very good. No snow and ice, but it'll be a bit cooler. And do all the curly roads down. Say, sort of do it Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday, or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out about that later on in the year. That's going to be December, so basically 12 months from now. But that's the plan at this stage of the game. Whether it's still running this engine or whether it's I don't think it's going to be running slightly this engine. I don't know if it's going to be running the A15. I don't know. The A15's got a fairly chunky cam in it, so you know, we could always put the A15 in with the A12 cam, which makes it quite tractable. I don't know how that would actually run. I'll have to bounce it off the Datsun 1200 Club wiki and see if anything sort of pops up then. If everybody's run, because the A15 cam is a fairly sort of a sloggy, talky thing, because it was for the Nissan Vanette. They mainly used it in. I don't think they used it in anything else. Well, anything that I know, but Nissan Vanette, which was a little people movery van thing, this 1500. So it had this massive big 9.2 kilo flywheel on it, and fairly low compression. So I'd say a fairly grunty sort of a taxi cam, if you like, that is angled towards the torque side of things. And so the A12 cam is going to be a damn sight better, and they fit together. They both go in. The A15 has the big port head and everything on it though, which is supposed to be the gun head. More on that in upcoming episodes. Yeah, I think, well, I might as well tell you here. I think what we might do as a swan song for the A12 is we might, and I've already put the A15 all together, but I'm thinking what we might do is we might take the head back off it and swap it over with the standard head on this. Because everybody carries on about how good it's called the H89 head. It's got the big valves and the big oval ports, and mine's been ported a bit too to make it a little bit bigger to GX specs. Yeah, so everybody carries on about how good it is, and like, well, how good is it? Can't find any info on it. So the plan in maybe even over the Christmas break, and it's the 11th of December now, and I've got a 3-week Christmas break, so I've got a bit of time to do a bit of stuff. We might pull this head off and stick the H89 head on, and then chuck it back on the dyno and see, like, without changing anything else. Don't do anything with the tune or anything, just put it on and see if it makes any difference. Might be a couple of kilowatts in it, I don't know. I mean, you know, we made it flow quite well already. So traffic. This is the freeway. Oh, what happened there? Oh, it stalled out on me. It's twice it's done that on the way home. I didn't realise that it conked out. Yeah, this is supposed to be 100k zones through here, 4 lanes wide. I think it might get a bit better once we get past Moorbank Avenue, which is sort of, that feeds a lot of junk in here too. Don't you do that again. See, look, now that it's caught it, so I might have a talk to Dave about that. Because it's supposed to be switching on the idle up before the compressor actually switches on. But as you're coming off the throttle, it goes, ugh, and then it picks back up again. So it might be something to do with the times, I think. But it is taking quite a bit of time to pick that throttle back up for the higher idle. It does cold start and everything really well, so I don't know quite why it's doing that. Could always bounce it off Isaac. He's the guru with all this sort of stuff. We might do a bit of a project with Isaac over the Christmas break, with a bit of stuff I've got coming. Not for this car. Well, maybe for this car, I don't know. We've got to stick it on the... No, not for this car. Because we've got to stick this car... We'll put this car on the dyno with Shannon, with the H89 head on it. I think that's a good little Christmas project. And the other project is more up Isaac's alley. But that's in another episode. You're going to have to watch that then. As you see, that's puddling along quite well. Now we switch that on. I haven't even been able to show you the cruise control yet. Now, what's the downsides of owning the Sunny truck? Well, there is no downsides. I can't see a single downside. All right, it's got downsides. It's noisy, but it's characterful. There's no room in it. So, like, you've got all the room and to throw stuff in the back there, but, like, you know, you can't put anything valuable in there, so it's got to go on the floor. There's no room behind the seats, especially because I've got hang on, go. 5th gear, cruise control on. Cruising down the freeway at our 8.5. And that's where the cam, I just revved that to about 5.5 or 5.6. It doesn't really have anything there. So, and I think that's where the cam in the A15 will come out a bit better. Buttling along quite happily. Future plans for it are, we might look at electric windows. I don't know if that's a bit too sophisticated. You know, there's always, like, it's got real character at the moment, and it drives beautifully, as you can see. Look, see how it goes up over this hill. It has had a little problem with it getting to the top of the hill and overshooting the speed. We're doing 100 k's at the moment. And that's just 105, 106. Yeah, that's starting to button out of it now. Oh, but this guy's slowed down anyway. With all that we've done with the suspension and how it drives and everything, it's a terrific little car now. I've just adjusted this up, so if I go hit the button, it goes 2 kilometres faster, not 1. Because I was finding it was going, you know, beep, 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 trying to get it to go, but 2 k's works out a little bit better. And cruise control in traffic isn't really good anyway, unless you've got that radar cruise control. But it certainly gets lots of waves, and that's actually really cold. It comes out of here, hits the back window, and goes around the back of your neck. And because the whole thing's angled upwards, so you tend to, yeah, it cools up around here, and then all the cold air goes down, because it's a very small cabin. So it cools it down really well. It's a little bit bouncy, mainly because we run it really low. Other downsides, the fender mirrors aren't real flash. Then the fender mirrors are no good for reversing with. They're hopeless. But you get less of a blind spot. But these aren't very big ones anyway, so the standard ones are bigger and squarer, but you know, we have to have the 510 Datsun 1600 sports versions. So it still makes that weird, like if you're on the throttle, it's fine. If you're off the throttle, it's fine. But if you're in that sort of cruisy in between, there, I've no idea what that is. We've changed the diff, changed the center bearing, we've changed the gearbox. Maybe it's the chains rattling. It's something about that particular speed that makes the chains rattle on the back tailgate. See, there it is. Cruise control again. I don't know what that is. Could be just lashing the diff. But like, I've had the diff checked. It's to spec. I don't know. But it's always done it. And we're on a little downhill slope, so it's doing it at the moment. Anyway, yeah, downsides. It could be a little bit better on petrol, but I think with the A15 it possibly will be, because it'll have a lot more torque, so you won't need to use as much throttle. I don't actually know. Yeah, apart from room, a little bit noisy. Oh, the window, it's got old windows in it, so all the new cars have got this UV stuff, and it doesn't let the UV light through the windows. This old thing doesn't, so you can get sunburn, and I did when we did pub run last time, just from the sun through the window on your arm, which you don't get in new cars, so you don't think of stuff like that. I can't think of anything else that's bad about it. It's a terrific little car. And I've had a couple of people drive it already. I think James, who's the photographer from MCM, and Kevin San, who's my accountant and all-around good guy, have both driven it and both said pretty much the same thing. What if it's the same noisy guy that went past us? No, he's got the helmet. Yeah, they both said the same thing. It's very integrated, and it feels, you know, they were expecting, with all the stuff that we've done to it, for it to be a bit sort of how you're going, but it's really integrated. It drives beautifully. Passing people on cruise control, and another one for good measure. This thing reads slightly low, and the actual speedo on the car reads slightly high. So at this speed, that wind rustle is actually these little visors, which is another reason I like the car. It had air conditioning, it had bugger all case on it, had these little visors on it, and it was a long body. They're factory ones, still have the Nissan stickers on them. Genuine Nissan visors, or rain guards, I think they're called. They're for smoking, so you can have your window open and you can smoke away like you do in Japan and ash it out the window, and your cigarette doesn't get wet. That's enough of me rambling. Thanks very much for watching the Barrel Brothers channel. Like and subscribe, which I again forgot to say at the start. Thanks very much for watching Barrel Brothers, and we will see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. See yous.